What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to Meditations. Like this video if you will, subscribe to the page, and pull that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. No pun intended. So when I was a child, I remember this one eerie night when I was about 8 years old, alright? And I would get afraid sometimes at night. And I would want to go and lie in bed with my parents. All right, I know that sounds weird, but for whatever reason, a fear came over me at night at times, and I wanted some comfort from mommy, basically, right? Sometimes they'd get frustrated with me when I'd go over there. My dad especially, he wouldn't like that. And I don't know, maybe because he didn't want to be interrupted, maybe because he didn't want me to be a wimp. I'm not sure why. So I had a hesitancy to do that. So it took a lot for me to want to go and muster up the courage to do that, all right? To go and knock on my parents' door and ask them if I can sleep in their bed tonight, that night. So one night, I had a sensation come about me again, and I went knocking on the door, just as the other nights. They let me in, I lied down, and I fell asleep next to mommy, all right? And I'm at the edge of the bed, just lying there, just kind of looking at the wall, where the TV was in the walking area. And they had a big water bed. It was really nice, but I remember being awakened. Something woke me up. And I'm lying there, and I open my eyes, and I see this creature, if you will, standing upright, with glowing eyes and a long snout. And it had ears and the sort of face like a dog, like a Doberman or something. And it was just staring at me, just standing there a couple feet away. It was quite tall. It seemed to be 6 or 7 feet tall. And just staring down at me. And maybe breathing with glowing eyes. And it had a sort of garb on. Like it was wearing some clothes. All right, it looked almost like a werewolf. And I was so afraid, I just was still, right? My eyes wide open. I was just shocked and frozen in fear. Now, I'm not sure what came thereafter, but however so, the moment passed, and I must have fallen back to sleep. But yeah, I can visualize it quite well. And I don't even know if I ever talked about it. I don't know if I told my mommy that the next day. I was just so scared. And I didn't, I knew they wouldn't believe me, there's this creature standing there. It was terrifying. But at the same time, maybe I wasn't as afraid as what I should have been. Yeah, I was just a little afraid. But then in recent years, I start seeing people making videos on dogman, all right? And these folks are saying that these creatures are real. They say they're out there in the woods. And I live in Michigan, and there's been apparently a lot of dogman sightings in the Manistee National Forest, all right? These werewolf-like creatures. Some even say that they're interdimensional beings. All right, they can kind of phase in and out of our reality. Many say that they're demonic in the biblical realms from the Christian perspective. They'll say that these are even Nephilim. Some say that they're government experiments where they've kind of been let loose, or they came from portals, or they go in and out of portals, phasing in and out of reality as we know it, between worlds, right? And I can't help but wonder if this stuff is true. Now, until recent years, I would have probably dismissed it because I've pretty much been a having faith in Jesus and the Bible sort of Christian guy, right? Like my whole life. I was raised in church, this and that. Thought I had thought I felt the Holy Spirit, right? Love of God, this and that. Of course, in recent times, I kind of have the opposite effect where I've injured myself in many ways, which is why in a lot of these videos I'm just wearing a blanket on with no shirt on. My arm had surgery on it. I have a bone infection. I have an IV in the arm, this and that. So I'm kind of bitter toward the Creator, if you will. But nonetheless, that's the angle from which I came from, all right? So the idea of these like Egyptian gods or whatever, or angels among us, or fallen angels among us, didn't really dawn on me, because you didn't hear about that stuff in churches. No, you just heard about the old patriarchs of the Bible and a lesson here and there, and that was it, right? And hear about Jesus. You didn't really hear about the really interesting stuff that kind of throws a wrench at the whole fundamental view of modern times in terms of theology and Christendom, right? Things that break up the narrative, if you will. But then I started reading a little bit more in depth. Like I saw the whole, Genesis, the Nephilim being in those days, the sons of God, and how they bred with the daughters of man. And they were there in the days of Noah and thereafter. All right. And then you look throughout history and you see these people worshiping idols and gods, many of which are like towering over them. They're statues and depictions in art. And these are apparently the gods of old. And I can't help but wonder if this stuff is for real, like it was in the Bible. These could have been the sons of God. And it didn't necessarily say in Genesis 6 that they were evil in those days. It just said they were the sons of God, and they took the women that they chose, and they bred with them, right? Folks say that this made a sort of hybrid being of a sort. I don't know. These could be what were Hercules and Achilles and Zeus and Medusa and all these things. That chick in the Starbucks logo, that one god. What's her name again? Artemis? Yeah, they're all over the place. But of course, it got me circling back to the dogman thing, because I used to think, oh no, the werewolves, that's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. There's no such thing as a werewolf, as cool as that is, or something like it anyway. But these folks are calling it dogman. And then I looked it up, and I saw this Egyptian god. Maybe I'll show you a picture of it. Yeah, it's really, well, here, I'm going to pull it up on my other window. So here it is. I just looked this up a minute ago. Anubis, is that how you said it? I don't know. Also known as this and that in ancient Egyptian, is the god of funerary rites, protector of graves, and check this out, and guide to the underworld. All right. Depicted as a canine or a man with a canine head. Yeah, and that's like, I'm not kidding you guys, it looked like this. Shit. That thing that I saw, it looked like it had like that stuff on it. You gotta be kidding me. That's what it looks like the thing that I saw when I was like 7 or 8 years old. It looked like this. No, it looked more like the other one, actually. You've got to be kidding me. It's like, I hate to say it, but as eerie as it feels, I might have had an encounter with this thing. The hell was he doing watching me when I was a child? Good or bad? What does Google say? Well, of course, Google's going to say the opposite of what's true. Gods of death are often associated with evil. However, this wasn't the case for Anubis. The Egyptian people viewed him as a good protective deity. He's a dog, I guess. Symbolizing regeneration. Yeah, okay. I mean, whatever. I mean, yeah, I might make more videos on that, but what are your thoughts on this stuff? I mean, yeah, isn't that... This stuff is starting to come alive a bit. And, of course, if you've seen my other videos, it really touches on the whole millennial kingdom thing. and the how it could have already happened. And there's this other guy on YouTube who talks about the Nephilim looking like clowns, right? What's his name again? He's the conspiracy. I watch a lot of his videos. He's a great channel. I'm going to try to get it right next time, all right? Conspiracy. I can't remember, but I'll let you go. I'll let you guys know next time. But what if the Nephilim looked like werewolves? Some of them, anyway. I mean, that's the thing, is they're not just, yeah, like, many of them probably did look like clowns, but what if they look like freaking werewolves? Or dogs? It's just crazy. But let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comments below. Let me know if you've had any encounters or whatnot. I mean, I'm shocked that I've actually am talking about one that I might have had, because I was always very skeptical on this stuff. I never believed anyone when they told me they saw a ghost or whatever. Right? Or anything that's supernatural. But I mean, yeah, I admit I could have been sleeping. I don't know, but I mean, it was so like vivid and real that I don't know. But if you guys will like this video, subscribe to the page, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace be with you.